back at it again. So, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but apparently there was some type of hoax that involved Duke volleyball. It's quite a sad situation to say the least, but let's dive in.
We've had a situation at BYU that is ongoing as we speak. And the first thing I want to say is, look, and I've heard you talk about this, if there is true racism somewhere, show me where it is, and I'll suit up with you. Like, we'll go together.
You always say that.
Yeah.
I think everyone's in agreement of that statement. I haven't heard of anyone disagreeing with that statement. Like, hey, if there's true R word out here, I'll suit up with anybody and everybody and let's fight against it. I don't think anybody's for discrimination of any sort. The problem is people try to over-exaggerate things, and a lot of people have caught on to that and understand that there's a lot of Jessie Smolletts, Jessie Smooches out here who cry wolf, or what's the the boy who cried wolf. That was the right story. I couldn't remember. I was like, is that the right situation? Yeah. And we're not buying it anymore.
Of course.
And because
we're all on the same side of this.
That's exactly right.
Silly.
That's exactly right. But a Duke volleyball player, was playing against BYU.
Yep.
And said that there was a racial slur, you can probably guess what it is, that was screamed from the crowd to her. Then they were getting taunted for what they look like, for their appearance on the bench, the other African Americans on Duke volleyball team. Well, now it has come out that the person that they banned, after reviewing the footage, said nothing. They weren't the person who said it. There was one person who said that they heard it. Nobody else has said they heard it. And I'm not saying it didn't happen. I wasn't there, and if it did,
I think I'm going to say it didn't happen.
Yeah, like
I will say it didn't happen. Everybody knows when they hear the N-word with the hard R. Like, that's just not something you hear on a daily basis. The N-word with the hard R is recognized when it's being said. That's not a regular occurrence. So for someone to say, hey, somebody yelled the N-word with the hard R, but only one person claimed that they heard it? Nah. And I'd be willing to bet if someone performed a social experiment and went to any type of game and yelled the N-word with the hard R, there would be probably 50 different people within earshot that would turn and look their direction. Because it's not something that you hear on a daily basis. People be like, wait, what did you just say? You serious? You know? So that's why I say it wasn't said. Not at all. At all. Whatsoever.
Yeah. The reason I'm going to say that it didn't happen is because there was literally a police officer standing by the bench who said that he didn't hear it. Nobody else heard it. The only person who heard it is apparently the person who's tweeting it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and again, if you connect the dots, too, her godmother is running for political office. Now, come on.
Here we go.
Like I said, again.
And it's repeated. I mean, the allegation is not that one person yelled the N-word once, which you might say, okay, some people missed it, only one person heard it, but that literally every time, every time she served.
Yeah, but that is something, again, how does everybody not?
Every time she served, the N-word was yelled, stop it. Stop it. That's not happening. Maybe one person yelled that once just trying to be a troll, just trying to be annoying. But to say that they yelled that every time your team served or you served, not buying it. Not buying it.
Freak out the minute that's going on.
And anybody that does buy that, come on over to me. I got some stuff I need to sell you. Okay? I got some money I need to make. All right? I got a $2,500 camera that I need to pay for. So if anybody's buying that, come on over. I got some stuff to sell you. I got a magic brush that will just magically give you Rapunzel locks. It's amazing. I'm selling it for $2,500. So if you buy that story, come and buy my brush. I got you.
But to me, the problem I have with it, other than I'm getting a lot of Jessie Smollett vibes from this, it seems to be happening, is that they immediately went and banned the person that they pointed out without even reviewing the film. The president comes out and apologizes of the school and stuff like that, instead of doing an actual investigation into it and finding out what happened. Have we gotten to the point, whether it's in sports, society in general, that depending on the allegation, that determines the speed of the outcome of the process? When that happens, I think you've lost everything. That's not law and order.
Yeah, Jamel Hill actually writing a full piece about how Duke should end its volleyball season. They should suspend the rest of their volleyball season based on an unverified allegation. I mean, this is, I'm sorry, this is insanity. The worst crime you can commit in American public life is something like using the N-word, right? Worse than murder, worse than rape. I mean, in American public life, you can recover your career after killing someone, depending on who it is that you kill. But if you publicly insult someone on the basis of race, that is the worst thing that you can do.
You're done.
In American public life. I mean, forget about the relative, morality. All these things are bad. But one thing in terms of doing a thing in public that's going to end, you will never work again. That is the thing. And so the notion that this is routinely happening, which, and again, like, what is it now? 80% of these cases where somebody says publicly that this happened, these are so frequently hoaxes that I don't know why you would believe the first iteration. Now, 80% of these cases where somebody says publicly that this happened, these are so frequently hoaxes.
70 to 80% of the time? Sheesh, that is sad. People are so desperate for attention. And like I've spoken about in previous videos, the supply of racism doesn't meet the demand. So people try to artificially create it. And apparently her godmother is running for office? Really? Kind of fishy there, isn't it?
That I don't know why you would believe the first iteration. At the very least, wouldn't you just say, listen, we got to investigate.
That's what I'm saying. That's my thing.
But like the fact that you're immediately jumping to, okay, we got to talk about suspending the season. Let's find somebody and let's kick him out of the gym. Like a huge number of these cases are just not true. Like they're just not correct. And the incentive structure is lined up so that this person is now a famous person.
Yeah.
Never heard of this Duke volleyball.
Well, I didn't know who her godmother was running for office. Yeah. It worked.
You're right.
LeBron's tweeting. I mean, it's a play. I feel like it's a play. Your boy LeBron, your favorite basketball player, Ben. We all know.
Yeah.
It's like echo lies with a.
As much as I like LeBron as a basketball player, my goodness, does he have some horrible takes. And he's such a hypocrite. Such a hypocrite. Whenever a situation like this happens, he's quick to post something about it. But when the Memphis situation went down with the guy, doing horrible stuff, when it's a black person doing something, all of mainstream media is totally silent. LeBron, Don Lemon, all these other folks just AOC, they don't all of them become like blind and deaf, like they don't see or hear anything. But as soon as it's a black person that has the offense, being done to them, we gotta fight for justice. We gotta fight. I'm like, wait, I thought you were blind and deaf a second ago. Hold on, you didn't even touch on or even speak about this other story here that was a lot more tragic than this. So, like, what's the deal? Hypocrites.
A megaphone and then retract on the back of a
it's exactly right.
I mean, there clearly does seem to be a trend in society where in American society right now particularly, where the demand for discrimination is outpacing the supply.
Right.
Douglas Murray puts this as the St. Georgian retirement syndrome. Once you've slain all the biggest dragons, there's only little dragons. It's like you have to make bigger issues out of smaller and smaller infractions, basically.
Yes,
I mean, do you think we're going to get to a point in American society where we can get past these racial issues?
I mean, I think that I think we're already almost past this, meaning that this thing unraveled so quickly. Like this one took less than a week to unravel. 4 years ago, this would have taken 6 months to unravel.
Wolf situation,
right?
Cried Wolf, basically.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I think that the suspicion that immediately crops up when the allegation is even made means that they have to either come up with the evidence or debunk it really, really quickly because there have just been too many of these situations. And the Jessie Smollett thing may have been the turning point because when you had the current vice president of the United States, who was then a senator, sounding off and Jessie Smollett is a hero and all of this kind of stuff, and literally everyone in American public life talking about how horrible and evil this was. And then it turns out that it was just a complete fabrication. And the story didn't hold together at all. Like, if you just read the story, you'd be like, this makes no sense whatsoever. I just don't think that the faith that this stuff is true is not strong enough to withstand the demand for evidence now. So, yeah, I think we're past it. I think the more of these that crop up, if all of us hate the same thing, the racism. And our immediate reaction to somebody telling the story is, I'm going to need to see some receipts.
Yeah.
Then you know that we're kind of moving beyond this, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's coming a lot in sports. Go back to Lamar Jackson with the so-called black quarterback, why he hadn't got his contract, because he's a black quarterback. Kyler Murray, why they put that clause in his contract to watch film? Well, he's someone of African-American and doesn't watch enough film.
Yeah, Warren Moon.
It's just getting to the point where the little subtle differences when it comes to a certain person that are different race, it's racist. Like, the reason Lamar Jackson is not getting paid what he wants because he's a black quarterback.
No, it's because, first off, he's not like the best quarterback in the world. I like Lamar Jackson. But also, his play style isn't conducive to a very long playing career, right? Lamar Jackson is an athlete. Granted, he can throw. He can throw. He's not the greatest passer in the world, but he can throw. He can play quarterback. But he also likes to get out and run. What happens when you get out and run? You get hit. What happens when quarterbacks get hit? Sometimes they get hurt. If they're hurt, they can't play. Why would I want to pay somebody who's not playing? I think the news came out, he turned down like a $290 million contract with like $190 million guaranteed. He wanted it fully guaranteed, which is what Deshaun Watson has. If I'm getting this story correct, for all my sports folks, let me know in the comments section. But Deshaun Watson of the Cleveland Browns, the guy who had the issue with all the masseuses, that whole situation was weird, and he knew it was coming. There's a whole story behind that, but I'll spare you guys that. So, but that's another thing as well. Deshaun Watson is black. His contract is like nobody else's. It's fully guaranteed. Fully. Every dollar that is on that contract, I don't care if he stopped playing football tomorrow, he's getting paid. I don't even think Tom Brady has a contract like that. He's black too, though. So, like, where's the racism with Deshaun Watson, right? He's black. Black people aren't supposed to have fully guaranteed contracts. See, and that's the bogusness of these folks. They overlook that situation, and then look at Lamar Jackson. It's the R word. What about Deshaun Watson? Explain, please. People are hypocrites, man.
They say the certain amount of black quarterbacks that are in NFL is because the owners are racist. But they never talk about the percentage of white people that are in NFL, or even the NBA.
No,
you know,
that's what I'm saying. It's amazing the NFL can claim that they're racist against a certain group, and that certain group makes up 80% of the players on the field. I've never seen that before. But I'm with you, Ben. I think we are getting past it, and we had gotten to the point, and we're still getting through it, where we're trying to combat racism with racism, and that never works out. It's like trying to get better at pitching while taking batting practice.
Facts. People trying to combat the R word with the R word, which is the ASU students video that we checked out probably 2 weeks ago. 2.5 weeks ago or so now, where these black students were being racist to white students. And I'm like, wait, what? And they're calling the white students the R word. I'm like, how does that even make any type of sense? What? Doesn't make any sense at all, of course. But yeah, I'm glad this whole story got exposed, just like the Jessie situation. There was a story with, actually, I could probably bring up the video. There was a story with a gentleman who was spray painting something on a crosswalk. Actually, here's the video here. I can bring it up. All right, so you see the crosswalk, obviously LGBTQ kind of thing going on here. He chose this area for a specific reason, obviously because of this. So, watch him. That's blurred out because he spray painted a black guy. Black guy. Actually, there's a close-up of him right here. And like I stated before, had that not been caught on camera, that would have turned into an entire incident. Not only because it was a swastika, of course, but also because of where it was spray painted. Look at that. Oh my God, these hateful people, they're out to get us. We gotta stop the injustice. I can hear it now. So thank goodness for cameras. Thank goodness he wasn't very intelligent and did this broad daylight. Because I guarantee you that would have been blamed on white nationalists, white right extremists, MAGA Republicans. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Every single one of us know. I can see the headlines. Just absolutely ridiculous. But it's stuff like that, and like the volleyball player and the Jessie situation, that are super and extremely shameful. Happy that got exposed, all right? But y'all let me know what you thought about this crazy story in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. And if you would like to donate to my camera fund, all right? Because like I stated before, that camera is $2,500. PayPal link is in the description box below, all right? I appreciate you guys for all of the continued love and support. Peace and love. I'm out.